Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to talk about how to become a successful wedding photographer. So this video is for you if you're dabbling in the wedding industry or you're already in the wedding industry and you just want to become more successful. If you are starting from scratch and you don't have a business, make sure to check out my other video, what I would do if I was starting completely from scratch in the wedding photography industry. But this is for people who are already in it, dabbling, and just want to become more successful. Okay, so we're specifically talking about wedding photography in this video, but basically, the first thing I want you to do is figure out where you actually are and where your current bookings actually come from. So what I want you to do is open up Excel or Google Sheet and make a list of all the weddings that you have, like 1 through 20, 1 through 30, however many weddings you have, and then make a column and write where did that lead come from? And then create categories there. So is it Instagram? Is it Google? Is it vendor referral? Is it word of mouth? Past client referral? Make categories and then title every single wedding with where it came from. Okay, so once you do this, I want you to create a percentage. So how many weddings come from Instagram? What's the percentage? How many weddings come from Google? What's the percentage? How many weddings come from Facebook? All your different categories, make percentages. And the reason I want you to do this is because I think there's a huge misconception in the wedding industry and in bookings. We naturally think that all of our efforts are directly relating to our bookings. So for example, I see a lot of photographers, and I'm guilty of this myself, spending a lot of time on their Instagram feed, a lot of time on reels and things like that. When you do this Google document, is it equal the amount of time you're putting into Instagram and the amount of bookings you're getting from Instagram? And if it's not, what's the problem? So I think we just naturally do what we're supposed to do in the photography industry because that's what's like trending and Instagram is fun. And those things might not directly be related to your bookings. So before I did this, I thought my Instagram was going to be my number one way of getting clients. And actually vendor referral was my number one, and Instagram wasn't even my second. Google was my second. So that was just like really eye-opening. So step 2, figure out which of those categories are your 2 weakest categories. So is it Google, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is? Narrow down your 2 weakest categories. Okay, and then I want you to spend the next quarter on making those 2 weak categories into 2 strong categories. And the reason I say this is because whatever you're doing for the strong categories is probably already working and it's stable. So don't change anything if you're blogging or you're doing anything like that. It's working. What we want to do is even out the playing field and make your business have so many strong pillars of referrals, Instagram marketing, so you're not reliant on anything. So we're going to work on strengthening those 2 weak links. And then what I think is really powerful is trying to think of if you can add a category that is not currently there. So for example, if you're not using paid advertising or you're not partnering with venues, a new category that could bring you new clients in a new way, add a new category there. So that's my step 3 is to add something totally new that is a new form of getting new clients. Okay, number 4, to become successful as a wedding photographer is so simple but so overlooked. Have a business process in place from start to finish. And I know that sounds like common sense, but I don't think everyone understands what I mean from start to finish. So what I mean a process from when the couple literally fills out that contact form all the way until delivering those photos to the other vendors that were at the wedding. So start to finish. I mean, collecting reviews is part of that, fulfilling album orders is part of that. The entire process needs to be laid out. And I have a really, really helpful Google Sheet that helps me stay organized with my weddings. Totally free. I'm gonna put it in the link down below for you guys. And I talk about Honeybook a lot and using those workflows. But having a clear business process start to finish and having a snapshot view like in this Google Sheet, and I'll link the other video for that as well, is really, really helpful. So if you don't have a business process for every single thing in your business, it's gonna fall weak and you're gonna be spending a lot of time creating the wheel and not have the capacity to take on more weddings. So you always wanna make sure that if you're marketing, and taking on so many weddings, that you have a process in place for how to handle those new clients. Okay, number 5. So a lot of the wedding industry, I believe, in being successful is about cultivating community. You need to have relationships with all the vendors that you know. So I want you to open up another Google Sheet or another Excel sheet and make a list of all the planners you know, all the, makeup artists, all the caterers, all these different people, and then build connections with those people. I know that sounds like common sense, but over time, the wedding industry is a long game. It's a 10, 20, 30 year game. So the more that you can build relationships with all of these people that are meaningful and they last the test of time over the years, the more stable your business will become. So you should be able to know 5 wedding planners that you could go to lunch with, 5 people in each category that you would, hang out with, or, they're like your colleagues. We're so busy as photographers and vendors on wedding days getting our jobs done that sometimes you don't get to make that strong of a connection that you want with a vendor. So the only way to really build these relationships is outside of weddings, is doing activities outside of weddings. So just make sure that you are building those relationships outside of when you're actually going to work. Okay, number 6, shoot for free, constantly elevating your portfolio. This is something I think is just overlooked a lot too. Once you start charging a certain price, once you start booking a certain number of weddings, we kind of like get stagnant and think we're doing something right. And the reality is the only way to keep on growing is to keep on elevating that portfolio. So wherever you are in your business, I think we can always be shooting for free. We can always be elevating our portfolio. I still do styled shoots. I still try to elevate everything in my business. So I think that's just the fastest way to become successful. It's not something you need to do, and you could, keep calling from your best of the best weddings. But if you really want to skyrocket your success in the wedding industry, I really believe putting on shoots that are strategic and concentrated on your target audience and your target niche of weddings, that's really gonna skyrocket and get you more successful a lot faster. So if you guys want to watch another video on how to actually book more weddings, you can head over to that video. And if you want to grab that Google Sheet organization spreadsheet that I was talking about, you can get that in the link down below. Make sure to subscribe because they come out with a new video every single week for photography business owners. And I will see you guys next week.